Hello everyone and welcome to this 25 subscriber special. Thank you so much for all the love on the Ivern montages. Thank you. Mwah, mwah. So today I'm giving you an Ivern guide from the rank 7 Ivern. This is a Masters game versus a Lee Sin. And I chose this game because it showcases a lot of the mistakes that you can do as an Ivern, but also showcases what makes him so strong. So before we get into the game, I want to talk a bit about his runes, because you always want to go sorcery as first. And you want to go summon Airy, Nimbus Cloak, because Nimbus Cloak can help you get a speed boost in case you get caught out, you flash or you smite the enemy and then you run away. Then I like to go Transcendence and Gathering Storm, because Ivern scales really well and Transcendence and Gathering Storm helps him scale. Then I personally like to go Domination secondary with Relentless Hunter and Cheap Shot, because if you get some Relentless Hunter stacks down early, it allows you to keep following the enemy jungle around the map and counter ganging him more effectively because of the movement speed you get. And also I like to go Cheap Shot because it helps you break down frontline and assassins trying to get onto your backline. But normally you want to run Inspiration secondary with Cosmic Insight, again Ability Haste and Summon Spell Haste to help you to scale and always have a flash when you need it. And then you want to go Futures Market, because it allows you to, after you've taken Scuttle and you've reached level 4, it allows you to back directly and buy Ionian boots. So you get that ability haste and movement speed, which allows you to move around the map quicker. So that's normally what you want to do. And then I like to go ability haste, 9 adaptive force, and defense, so you get health, and in the last 3 runes. Yeah. So with that being said, let's get this game going. Okay, so in this game we're playing Ivern into a Lee Sin. And what you want to do as Ivern, you always want to look at the enemy jungler and see, okay, where should this guy be pathing? So it's a Lee Sin, so 100% of the times he will start red buff and path towards bot lane. This game especially makes sense because he has a Nautilus in his bot lane and we have a Kai'Sa and Seraphine, so it's an easy gank setup. So this, you can use this in 2 ways. Either you say, okay, we lose the 3v3 bot lane, so I start at my red and I path top, or you can say I'm gonna try and counter gank him because I think we can win the 3v3. So what I think in this game is that if I time the counter gank, it is possible for us to win the 3v3 if they engage on bot lane. So I ward my top side, my blue side, as late as possible, and then I go to my wolves where I'm gonna start. You most of the time as Ivern want to start on your blue side, at your blue, because it allows you to clear a bit faster because of a blast cone trick that you can do, that you will see in a minute. Let's see here. So, and then we see Lee Sin, he starts at his red. We start not raptors, we start wolves, mark our camps. And then we always path bot with the intention of we want to counter gank bot lane level 3 or level 4 when Lee Sin has come down there. So Lee Sin again, he's pathing bot very clearly. We want to mark our red, smite it, and then we have enough mana to mark our raptors, path bot. And what you want to do now when you do this clear is that you go to your blast cone, and then you also take the blast cone, Q the blue buff, take wolves, and then you go over to the blue buff. It saves you like 4 or 5 seconds, but it's pretty decent. And with this, if you do this, then you're taking wolves, and then you're ready to gank already around 255, because now take wolves. In this game you see that our support has warded bot side river here. So what I think, because I see Lee Sin running directly over the river, is that I thought he wanted to invade my red buff for some reason, which would be really stupid. So instead of moving straight down for the counter gank, I was standing here and waiting for him, which is the first mistake I do this game, because I realize I see he doesn't take the ward over here. Instead he turns around, he goes directly bot, and now I'm 5 seconds late for a counter gank, which means Kai'Sa's dead. If I've been down here when Lee Sin jumped over, well, he would maybe have chunked me for a couple of HP but never killed me, and also my ADC wouldn't have died. So that's the first mistake that you've done that I've done as Ivern. When you path the same direction as the opposite jungler, you want to make sure that that you're there for the counter gank. Then I try to get to take the skull, which is another huge mistake because my ADC has just died. I know that I can get it because Lee Sin has just been bought, and all I have to do is mark it, which I do now. But the problem is, I know I cannot fight this, so for some reason I tried because I'm level 4, so I have to flash out. And then there's Nautilus, Lee Sin and Rise, and they also forces my mid laner's flash. So we lose 2 flash because I want to get the scuttle, which is stupid because normally you only get 1 scuttle. In this game I go for the top scuttle here also because I see that Lee Sin moves onto his grump. So I get double scuttle here, but normally you only get 1 scuttle. So what I should have done was just to sack the bottom scuttle and go to the upper half. Also we see that Rengar has killed Gnar. Not something that you can count on normally, but it definitely helps Rengar if you start top side or if you play Ivern because you do not have to leash. Then I go for gank mid lane, just because, again, as I said before, I do not run Futures Market in this game, so I'm 100 gold short of Ionian boots. So therefore I have to make something happen. I go for a gank, it doesn't work out, and then I move back into my jungle. I take the scuttle. But again, it helps your laners that none of them have to leash level 1, and that is probably why Rengar got the push level 1, and could be why he also ended up killing Gnar. So what you can do instead of going back here to get your Ionian boots if you have Futures Market is that you can do what I'm doing now, and that is to mark your jungle again, because this will be around the time 4:30, 4:40 that your camp starts to spawn again. Also, I know now that Lee Sin has cleared his bot side 30 seconds ago, so I go top in case he is backed and chooses to gank top lane. Again, what you want to do as Ivern is you always want to look for the counter gank. So that's why I try to do here. Okay, Lee Sin is not up here. Well, this means that now I can go back. I've marked the camp, I've taken my grump, and now I can go back and I can buy my Ionian boots and a pink ward. You always want to get a pink ward if you can, and then always place it in this bush if you think that you have enough safety to move into the river. So I just take my wolves here, and then at this point I've just seen Lee Sin mid. I know he should be going bot side because he cleared his bot side 1.5, 2 minutes ago. He recalled, he went top side, he ganked mid, so now he should be bot side. So it's great again that I path at the same place of the map as him, because you want to counter gank as Ivern. You never really want to start a gank yourself because it's tough. So what I should probably do here is that I should path bot, but I'm wandering around a bit. I don't really remember what I do here. Maybe I go bot. I should go bot here for the counter gank, so let's see what's happening. And I also do that. I still think we lose this one. Let's see here. Yeah, so he kills the Seraphine and then we kill him. Rengar TP's in. And we make this a 3-for-1. So we make this a 3-for-1 because of, firstly, the fact that we counter gank, so we do not just lose it, and also because Rengar TP'd in. Again, that's one of the benefits that you often get from playing Ivern. You allow neither of your lanes has to leash you. So if they're good players, they will eventually get early game leads. So that's what this Rengar did. He killed the Gnar, forced the Gnar to TP back, and then he used his TP advantage to TP bot. Not that this is something that will often happen, because most players, we all know that. But in this game it worked out. So let's see what we are going to do here. You can always go for the skulls, even though Lee Sin is a stronger early game jungler. If you check the river and you see no jungler, you just take the scuttle if you have smite, because you do it so fast. So that's something I would always recommend. Then item wise, if we should talk about that real quick, you always want to go Moonstone first item, because that is what makes Ivern so great when you're standing behind your backline and they get engaged on, and you just keep healing them with shields and the Moonstone heal. So you always want to go Moonstone. Then you can go 3 different items as secondary items. You can go either the Ardent Censer, which would be really good in this game because we have triple AD. So you want to get Ardent Censer so that I can empower their basic attacks with AP. And you can go, let's see what's happening here. So my Yasuo TP spot. I think we lose this one. So you see my Yasuo is TP bot, and again I know that something is going on down here. We haven't seen Lee Sin, but I have a feeling that since all these guys are down here, something will happen. So instead of pathing back towards top side and clearing my blue side, I run straight bot, because again, Ivern is a counter ganger. I have very little HP and very little mana, but I just try and come from the back. I think I kill my ADC here because I miss a Q. Let's see here. I think I miss this Q. Yep, that's not so good. And I'm pretty lucky to get out myself. Yeah, so I actually think we lose this. It's a... Yeah, I think we kill 2 of theirs and we lose 3 of ours. And that's mostly because I missed my Q. Otherwise, again, it would have been a decent counter gank. But item-wise, you want to get Moonstone always, and you can get Ardent. You can get the Chemtech Purifier, which I think I'm gonna go for in this game, because I just hate playing against Lee Sin when he gets Goredrinker. I think the heal is insane in this patch. So I think I'm gonna go for Chemtech Purifier in this game, and then in another game, if you have a strong AP mid laner, you can go for Staff of Flowing Water, and then give ability haste and ability power to your mid laner. So that's the 3 options, and usually you just want to go those 3 items, but you change it up depending on your team and on the enemy. If they have a lot of healing, you obviously always go Chemtech Purifier as secondary item after Moonstone. Again, Lee Sin is ganking mid. I should be there for the counter gank, but I think he maybe dies. He runs out towards top side. I think the Yasuo gets out here. So again, why I'm always pretty much the same place as Lee Sin on the map is because we started pathing the same place. We both started top to bottom, because I pretty much knew that he would start red because he's a Lee Sin. And then I just keep pathing, clearing the same time, in the same pace as he would, which allows me to always be there to counter whenever he tries to do something. Oh yeah, and also the enemy team have taken a Drake here. When you play Ivern, the first 2 Drakes you pretty much always sack, because you're really not strong before you get Moonstone and then your second item. So the first 2 Drakes you all pretty much always give. If they want to take it, just let them, and then you can test from there, because then you've reached spikes and you should start to win 5v5 as long as you position correctly. So again, Lee Sin is pathing bot here. I'm also pathing bot. Tries to come into my jungle even though it is already cleared. So I assume that we should both go either bot or mid now. He's clearing, and I'm just moving bot for the sake of maybe there will be a counter gank. Doesn't look like it. I think they are pushing. Yeah, they're pushing my bot lane. So I wanted to go back, but instead I try to come for the gank, because I know there is a chance that Lee Sin should be down here right now. So I'm just waiting. And let's see what happens here. Lee Sin, you see him on the map, he's coming. And he moves in here. And when you play Ivern, this is actually a successful gank because we stop the Sin from ganking, which means that we gain more time to scale. And Ivern outscales pretty much everyone as long as you position okay in team fights. So we just force him to go away. We can always use Daisy pretty much because there's no cooldown on her. So if you're ever in doubt where you can go, just use Daisy. And let's see again, we're just down here to make sure that our bot lane doesn't die to counter gank. And it works perfectly, and we should just be able to recall here, get our Moonstone. But he stays bot lane. This could be mean that my bot lane dies, because I did not expect him. I did not expect him to do this. Oh yeah, also what you want to get as item, you always want to get a Dark Seal early if you do not have money to or gold to complete the Moonstone when you're back, which you rarely have. So you always want to get the Dark Seal. And again, now I move topside. I take the third skull in a row away from the Sin in topside. And again, I'm pretty sure that he is topside because he's just been bot and recalled. So what I should do now, and what I'm going to do now, I think, is that I will move top because I see that my Rengar is slow pushing, actually pushing pretty hard right now. So I should, which means that Lee Sin has an opportunity to gank, which again means that I should be there to counter gank him. So they've already engaged on my Rengar. He's pretty lucky to get out, but I'm still here to give him some heals and some shields. I haven't been back yet. I've just marked my jungle. So we take the turret here, and then I think we can actually kill, because again, as Ivern, you win a lot of 2v2s as long as you do not have to use your abilities to engage on them. So they're stuck on their turret, we take it with Herald, and then we just kill 2 of them. Also because of a great roam from Yasuo, but nevertheless we would have gotten the turret and Lee Sin would have died anyways. So that's also how you can, how you want to play Ivern. You just want to be there to counter gank, and your team can engage, or you can let your enemies, the enemy team engage. But you never want to flash Q yourself or try to make something spicy where you engage on the enemy team. You want to let them come to you, and then use your abilities on your teammates. So I go back here, I buy Moonstone, and I go for I buy towards the Chemtech Purifier here because of the Lee Sin and his Gold Drinker. It's pretty, I think it's pretty greedy of me to go Purify this game. Maybe it would have been better to go Ardent because of high triple AD laners. But I thought I have a Seraphine, and they only really have one threat right now, which is the Lee Sin. So if I can just mitigate his healing, it's great. Again, here I'm bot for the counter gank because Lee Sin should be bot after he's just been topside. And I think I prevent this gank, or Seraphine dies here. Yeah, looks like Seraphine dies. Then what do I do here? Okay, they TP in and I flash out. So right now we have lost 1. And they've TP'd in. But Rengar is down here. And the thing is, even though we've lost Seraphine, we still have even numbers with Daisy, because Daisy is a great frontline, and she also does decent amount of damage, and she has a knockup. So I think we almost aced them here. Maybe we kill 4. We kill 4 and we lose 2 for this, because again we counter ganked, and yeah. So that's pretty. We were there to shield and heal our teammates, and just. Always, when a team fight starts, just pop Daisy. You do not have to control her. She will automatically aggro one of the first enemy that she encounters. So that's great. Just always pop Daisy, because you're always a man more than the enemy team if you do that. So we get the second Drake. Normally not one that we would have contested, but because we just kill 4 of them, we can take it. And we go into their jungle after an objective, which seems like a very bad idea. Seraphine and Rengar. I also think they're going to die here. Let's see. Yeah, Seraphon dies to Israel ult, and Rengar, I think he gets out, yeah. Okay, he actually gets out. And I'm at this point I'm just clearing, or I'm just marking my jungle again, as you always want to do. You always want to mark your jungle if you're not looking for a counter gank. Just want to go around, mark, look for counter gank, and that's pretty much how you always want to do it. Let's see what I do here. Maybe we kill the Gnar. This is one of the few times that you can actually look for a gank, because you know that Lee Sin is not up here. You have vision in the whole topside river. The Gnar is pushed all the way up here, so if the Lee Sin were to be there, he would be at least outside of vision here. So we can go for this gank, and also we have a Seraphine up here, so even though Lee Sin may be here, it's still a 3v2. What you can do, you can put your shield on Daisy, and then it will slow the enemy also. And just kill him. It's a free kill, but at this point I think the Gnar is just trolling. Then you just want to take your cams and look for the next place that Lee Sin should be. At this point Yasuo's overextended a lot here. He should die, but somehow he doesn't. And then for the next thing that's going to happen here is I think we're about to go into a team fight. So I should talk a bit about Ivern's bushes. When Ivern is in a bush, he deals more damage with his basic attack. So you always want to self-cast a bush on yourself. But with this particular team comp, we also have a Rengar, and Rengar can jump when he's in a bush. So when I team fight in this particular game, I always want to place bushes so that Rengar can use them. You see down here, my Yasuo is caught out. We end up killing the Nautilus, and then I think we just fight here. The Rengar is a raid boss at this point. Just heal him, and then I place a bush. Yeah, there's a bush. Allows him to jump. Another bush so we can jump again, and we kill the Ezreal. And then you always want to look for, okay, which champion is taking damage, because then you want to shield them so they get the shield, and you also proc the Moonstone because they are in combat. I think we dive them here. Yeah. Again, just place a push for Rengar. Healing him, shielding him, Moonstone. And then I think we just push for... Yeah, and we just end here. So, again, it ends up being a 20-minute, pretty much storm. They surrender. Even though the early game was bad, we mistimed the first couple of ganks, and they actually get a couple of early game kills. So just goes to show that if you play Ivern the right way, even though you slip in the early game, it's always possible to turn it around, as long as you always set a counter gank. So yeah, that's my guide. Thank you for watching, and see ya.